Deep Blue was as intelligent as your alarm clock. Though, of course, losing to $10 million alarm clock was not the most pleasant experience. But there was a general belief among computer scientists that chess could serve as an ultimate test for computers' intelligence, artificial intelligence. That was not the right approach, because machines could conquer the game of chess by using the brute force of calculation. It was an important experiment. I won the first match. I was not successful in the second match. Then IBM walked away, dismantled the machine. I understand the rationale of them doing it because they already won. They couldn't improve the result. I have to confess that my preparation for the second match was lousy. I didn't expect, again, I have to give credit to IBM's scientific team. I didn't expect so much progress that they could make. Though, of course, the conditions of the match were not 100% fair to a human player. I was under constant pressure, since IBM was not only a player, but also an organizer. While analyzing these games 20 years later, I could realize that the quality of the match was not perfect, far from perfect. For anybody who wants to realize how much progress machines have made since 1997, you can look at these games and you will find out that some moves that were celebrated by chess world in 1997, Deep Blue moves, as a genius defense like in Game 5, these moves will be harshly criticized by chess engines today, correctly stating that I missed some of the big chances. And again, there were mistakes on both sides. But it was an important event since it moved forward man versus machine competition. The problem of human chess while facing a silicon monster is not that chess could be mathematically solved. That's one of the great misunderstandings. Chess is a mathematically infinite game. When I say mathematically infinite, it's probably an exaggeration, but when we talk about numbers like 10 power 45, which is more than the number of atoms in the solar system, let's agree it's infinite. While we are talking about machines conquering the game of chess, it's probably, it takes us to the wrong path, thinking about solving the game. While we're talking about machines being superior to the best human players. And I can tell you with absolute confidence that in a game between two humans, two best human players at the World Championship match, there is nothing like perfect chess, perfect game. Some games are really good, but you can always find a tiny, tiny inaccuracy. I'm not talking about blunders or bad mistakes, inaccuracies. A very good game played by a top player, say the world champion, say it's 50 moves. It could be 45 good, solid moves, 4 great moves, but most likely it will be one tiny inaccuracy, which makes no difference when you face another human. The problem is when you face the machine, there is no typical psychology. I'm in a bad position, I'm losing my confidence, I'm already thinking about a new game, I'm under this pressure, I'm thinking about what's happened 10 moves before, when I made a mistake, how on earth I got in such a trouble. Machine doesn't care about it. It doesn't care about anything but current evaluation of the position. And the moment you make one tiny inaccuracy, it will grab its opportunity. You may not lose the game, but you will not be able to win the game in a winning position because the precision that is required to win against the machine, it's unseen in human chess. We lose our vigilance subconsciously when we are reaching winning position. We become complacent, and that's part of human nature. You're winning, so what's the point of concentrating? That's why the matches between human players and machines, they lost its relevance. Computers are definitely playing a role in bringing younger and younger players into the professional circuit, because computers is part of new technology that helps us to advance our knowledge. So kids at age 12, 13, 14 today, they know much more about chess than Bobby Fischer by the end of his career when he was a world champion. Not because they are especially talented, but because they can learn from machines. They don't have to spend years of going from one tournament to another, playing these games, analyzing these games. They can learn a lot. It doesn't mean that they are as talented. It doesn't mean they know how to transform this information into something creative, but they can learn a lot. So experience is no longer an age factor. You don't have to play chess 20 years to accumulate experience that helps you to learn certain patterns. Now, actually, it's impossible to imagine a strong player without having a computer, not as the calculator, but more likely as the source of all the ideas. And it creates a new strange effect that I would say troubling. It's very interesting to see how the young players look at the position almost through the lenses of the computer, because they used to look at the screen waiting for machines' recommendations. I spent a year with Magnus Carlsen in 2009 working with him, and I realized that one of the secrets of his success and his unique talent was his ability to distance himself from the machine. He looked at the computer screen not for advice, but for confirmation of what he thought was a good idea or not a good idea. Young players, they have been struggling to become independent thinkers. Machine serves as the ultimate source of information and also inspiration. They look for ideas instead of trying to come up with something new. One of the problems of following the computer line is that you limit yourself with a territory where you can find new ideas. And I think it has this effect, this negative effect, not only in chess, but beyond chess. Because very often we are looking at the computer screen for ultimate recommendation. It's all about number crunching. We don't want to use our intuition. We don't trust our intuition anymore. We believe that unless it matches what we see in the screen, we should write it off. But if you want to be creative, if you want to be ahead, if you want to be at the cutting edge, you have to come up with something that others don't do. And if you follow the same line on the computer screen as everybody else does, how are you going to be ahead of a curve?